I was reading a book by Nietzsche and one paragraph really stood out to me. In it, Nietzsche describes how nowadays the ability to think is becoming more and more extinct. He pointed out that we are more pressured than ever to think as fast as possible and process many thoughts at once, as if we're some kind of human machine that is supposed to make quick decisions on the spot. And even though this paragraph was written hundreds of years ago, it still stands to this day, maybe even more than ever. This pressure for us to think fast, to have answers fast, leads us to using methods that don't come naturally to us. Because maybe you've set yourself some goals for the upcoming year, which, let's be honest, you had probably set them for this year but dropped them in the first months, and you want to achieve them, but you don't know how. And instead of thinking about how to achieve them, we rely on thoughts outside of ourselves on how to achieve the set things that we want. And it's not really our fault that we're so influenced by others, since the information that we need is so much easier to be accessed by asking ChatGPT or looking it up on Google. But this approach, taking the quick route to our goals, is often why we haven't achieved them yet. Because ever since we were kids, we go for the quick route. I mean, I assume most of you that watch me have grown up in the era where technology has always been present in your life. So I think you can relate to the fact that pressure from parents, teachers, or whoever has led us to not thinking about what we do when we do things, as if we are on autopilot mode every time a problem approaches us. Don't remember how to do something? Don't worry, just ask AI. You want to become an artist? Don't worry, just go on YouTube and get tutorials from millions of people, all with different ways of doing what you want. And their way is good, but the difference is that you haven't achieved it. And their way won't work because you haven't spent the time to think about what works out for you. By copying other steps, which I've already discussed in a previous video, your chances of actually succeeding drop significantly. This is what often forces you to set the same goals year after year after year. But even more importantly, by not taking the time to think, create, and find your own ideas and inspirations, you miss out on one of the most beautiful aspects of life. Fulfillment. Fulfillment that is only achieved by finding what works out for you, testing and failing, not going for the easy and right route, but the one that is hard and with many failures ahead. So many failures that at one point you even question why did you even go this way. But you remember you're here because this is what makes life worth living. Actually developing yourself and your thoughts in order to achieve what you want will give you the satisfaction of your goal. The hardship is what makes it so desirable. If you got what you wanted right now, then you wouldn't appreciate it nearly as much because we as humans are only good at one thing, needing more than what we have, which leads you to wasting so much time pursuing things that never even mattered in the first place. So if you're watching this before 2020, nah, it doesn't matter. If you're watching this ever, think. Thinking is finding out who you are and what works out for you. So don't go for the easy options. Subscribe.